Session 2.5, Interpreting Graph. Appropriate graph. Recall, the types of data you are dealing with determines the types of graph you use. Remember the session 2.1 to 2.2, we learned about the graph for the numerical data. And in session 2.3 and 2.4, we learned the graph for the categorical data. This is what we learned from these four sessions. The bar graph, dot plots, pie chart, histogram, stem plot, and the parental chart. I give you guys sometimes, I want you to fill it in here. Which graph belongs to the numerical data? Which graph belongs to the categorical data? Okay, check the work. Dot plots belong to the numerical data and also histogram, stem plot. Right? These three graphs will have a better representing the numerical data. And then pie chart, bar graph, and the parental chart will belong to the categorical data. Appropriate measure. The type of data you are dealing with determines how you describe the distribution of the data. Okay, remember for the numerical data, we'll be talking about the shape, the center, and the spread. And then for the categorical data, we only use the mode and the variability to describe the distribution of the data. Okay, misleading graph. I will give you guys some example to talk about the misleading graph. The first one, non-zero axis. This is talking about the highway fuel consumption with the Honda Civic, Chevrolet Aveo, and the Toyota Camry. By looking at this graph here, the first impression that the Honda Civic gets mileage that is substantially better than the mileage rating found for the Chevrolet Aveo and the Toyota Camry. Alright, but when I pay attention for the vertical axis here, they are starting at the 30 miles per gallon instead of at the 0 mile per gallon. It exaggerates the difference and creates a false impression. If I try to draw the graph, and then for the vertical axis here, I will be using 0 mile per gallon. Look, this graph so that the difference among the three mileage rating are actually really small. So we call the non-zero axis graph will be the misleading graph. Second one, pictograph. Drawing of objects are often misleading. So look at the pictures here. If I didn't count the number of the fruits there, if the first impression, when I look at this picture, I will say, wow, they collect a lot of the banana instead of the cherry or apples. If I draw the picture with the same size, I will see they collect like 4 bananas, 4 apples, and 4 cherries. So if we're using the different size of a picture in the pictograph, will lead you to one conclusion.